This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. You are literally eating your way to a wheelchair. That steak you thought was saving your strength is actually rotting in your gut, poisoning the very muscle fibers you are desperately trying to keep alive. The truth about protein after 60 is a nightmare they never told you. Somewhere along the way, a dangerous lie took root in our culture. They told you that the only path to strength was through animal flesh. They told you that as you aged, you simply needed to stack your plate with more chicken, more beef, and more eggs. But look at the reality around you. Millions of seniors are following this advice, yet they are still becoming frailer, weaker, and more dependent every single year. Their muscles are melting away even as they increase their protein intake. This is the white death of muscle loss, a state where your body is biologically incapable of using the very nutrients you are forcing into it. Welcome to EldraFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are here to uncover a truth that the multi-billion-dollar meat industry would rather keep hidden. If you are over 60, your body has changed. The rules of engagement for your biology have shifted. Continuing to eat like a 20-year-old athlete isn't just ineffective. It is accelerated self-destruction. When you consume heavy animal proteins that your aging system can no longer break down, you aren't building muscle. Instead, you are creating a toxic environment of metabolic waste that triggers systemic inflammation. This inflammation acts like a chemical acid, dissolving your existing muscle tissue faster than you can ever hope to replace it. You are trapped in a cycle of starvation in the midst of plenty. Your muscles are literally starving for amino acids, while your blood is thick with undigested protein fragments that your body treats as invaders. The tragedy is that this decline is entirely preventable, but it requires you to stop listening to the outdated echoes of the past and start listening to the cutting-edge science of the present. If you don't change your approach today, the White Death will continue its silent work, stripping you of your balance, your strength, and eventually, your dignity. You will find yourself unable to lift your own grandchildren, unable to walk up a flight of stairs without gasping, and eventually, unable to leave your chair. But there is a different path, a path where your food actually heals the damage and restores the power to your limbs. We are going to show you exactly how to bypass your failing digestive barriers and feed your muscles the clean fuel they are begging for. Before we dive into the biological secrets that will save your mobility, please take a moment to subscribe to EldraFit Nutrition. Your support is the fuel that allows us to continue bringing this life-changing information to the world. By subscribing, you are joining a community of people who refuse to let age dictate their strength. Now, I want you to stop and think deeply about your own body. Based on what you've felt in your own limbs lately, which of these sounds more like your current reality? I feel like no matter how much I eat or exercise, my strength is slowly slipping away and my muscles feel soft and tired. B, I believe my current diet is working perfectly, and I have the same strength and muscle tone I had 10 years ago. Please comment A or B below. Your honesty helps us understand the scale of this muscle crisis and allows us to tailor our future content to help you reclaim your life. The reason you are losing muscle despite your best efforts isn't a lack of protein. It is a total collapse of your internal processing plant. To understand why you are becoming frail, we must look at the revolution happening inside your stomach. After the age of 60, your body undergoes a drastic reduction in the production of hydrochloric acid and essential digestive enzymes. This isn't a minor change, it is a biological shutdown. Without adequate stomach acid, the dense, complex structures of animal protein remain largely intact. They sit in your stomach like heavy stones, refusing to yield the amino acids your muscles so desperately need. This condition, known as hypochlorhydria, is the hidden engine behind sarcopenia. When these unrefined protein chunks pass into your small intestine, they cannot be absorbed. Instead, they begin to putrefy. This putrefaction creates a cascade of leaky gut issues where toxins leak into your bloodstream, triggering an immune response that creates chronic inflammation. In the world of senior health, inflammation is the ultimate muscle killer. It blocks the signaling pathways that tell your body to grow. Imagine trying to build a house while someone is constantly throwing lit matches at the wooden frame. That is what happens when you eat heavy meats with a weakened digestive system. You are providing the wood, but your internal environment is on fire. This is why the shift to plant-based protein structures isn't just a lifestyle choice. Nearing 70, it is a survival necessity. Plant proteins, especially those from fermented or microscopic sources, come with a completely different architectural blueprint. They do not require the same aggressive acidic breakdown that a piece of steak demands. Many of these plant sources are pre-digested by nature or through fermentation processes, meaning they arrive in your system ready to be integrated. For an aging gut, this is the difference between life and death for your muscle fibers. When you switch to these high-efficiency fuels, you are removing the burden from your overworked stomach and liver. You are stopping the production of metabolic sludge and starting the flow of clean, bioavailable building blocks. Furthermore, plant proteins are naturally packaged with the very enzymes and phytonutrients that meat lacks. These compounds act as assistants for your digestion, helping to soothe the lining of your gut rather than irritating it. By choosing foods that work with your changing biology instead of against it, you are finally giving your muscles a chance to win. You are cooling the fires of inflammation and clearing the path for the amino acids to reach their destination. This is the enzyme revolution. It is about working smarter, not harder. It is about acknowledging that while your spirit remains young, your digestive machinery requires a more sophisticated, refined type of fuel to keep your engine running at full power. We are moving away from the brute force nutrition of the past and into a new era of precision absorption that will redefine what it means to be strong after 60. The forgotten golden key to your physical independence does not lie in a gym or a bottle of pills. It resides deep within the dark, microscopic world of your gut. We have been conditioned to believe that building muscle is a simple matter of intake versus output. But after 60, this equation is a lie. Your gut is not a passive tube for waste. It is a sophisticated signaling center, a biological command post that decides whether your muscle fibers will flourish or wither away. This is the gut-muscle axis, a direct telephone line between the bacteria in your colon and the strength in your legs. When your gut microbiome is in a state of chaos, driven by years of heavy, undigested animal proteins and a lack of specific fibers, it sends out a constant stream of inflammatory static. This static effectively mutes the signals your muscles need to grow. Your muscle cells become deaf to the protein you eat, a tragic state known as anabolic resistance. No matter how hard you train or how much you consume, the gatekeeper has slammed the door shut. The secret to reopening that door lies in a miraculous molecule called butyrate. Butyrate is not something you can swallow in a pill. It is a postbiotic fuel manufactured by specific beneficial bacteria when they feast on resistant starch and prebiotic fibers found in foods like chickpeas and lentils. For someone over 60, butyrate is the ultimate unlocking agent. It travels through your bloodstream like a master key, docking at your muscle cells to improve insulin sensitivity and silence the inflammatory alarms that trigger muscle breakdown. When you nourish the right bacteria, you are essentially hiring a microscopic construction crew that works 24 hours a day to repair the leaky barriers of your gut and clear the path for amino acids. Without this internal support system, your muscles are effectively dormant, trapped in a metabolic prison of your own making. By shifting your focus to these gut-healing plant proteins, you aren't just eating. You are conducting a biological symphony. You are transforming your internal landscape from a site of toxic putrefaction into a thriving garden of strength. This is how you reclaim your power, not by forcing protein into a broken system, but by healing the system so it can finally recognize the fuel you provide. Your strength begins in the shadows of your microbiome, and until you master the gut-muscle axis, the battle against frailty will always be an uphill climb. The transition from understanding the why of the gut to the what of your daily plate requires a radical shift in how you view food density. For a body over 60, the most valuable foods are those that provide super absorbent nutrition. substances that bypass the mechanical failures of an aging digestive tract. At the pinnacle of this hierarchy is tempeh, a fermented masterpiece that solves the greatest challenges of senior nutrition in every bite. Because it is fermented with the rhizopus mold, the proteins in tempeh are already partially broken down into peptides, meaning your stomach doesn't have to work nearly as hard to access the building blocks of life. But tempeh offers a hidden treasure that no meat can provide: vitamin K2. This specific nutrient acts as a biological traffic controller, ensuring that the calcium in your system is diverted away from your stiffening arteries and pushed directly into your bones and muscles. This bone-to-muscle crosstalk is essential for maintaining the structural integrity needed to prevent falls and fractures. When your bones are strong, they send hormonal signals that keep your muscle metabolism firing at a youthful rate. Beyond the fermented power of tempeh lies the black shield of the plant kingdom, black beans. Their deep, dark pigment is a concentrated source of anthocyanins, the same potent antioxidants found in expensive berries. In the context of muscle health, these anthocyanins act as bodyguards for your mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your muscle cells. As we age, these power plants begin to leak energy and produce oxidative smoke that damages the cell. The compounds in black beans neutralize this damage at the source, allowing your muscle cells to produce the energy required for protein synthesis. Combine this with the microscopic power of spirulina, which lacks a tough cellulose wall entirely, and you have a nutritional profile that is effectively pre-digested. Spirulina delivers a concentrated blast of phycocyanin, a compound that has been shown to be as effective as some pharmaceutical anti-inflammatories at protecting muscle tissue from the molecular shredders that overactivate as we age. These are not just ingredients. They are precision tools designed to soothe the fragile lining of your gut while providing the raw materials for a physical renaissance. By incorporating these superabsorbent fuels, you are providing your body with a cleanup crew that repairs the damage of the past while building a resilient foundation for the future. This is the ultimate strategy for anyone who refuses to let their digestive limitations define their physical destiny. To truly conquer the physical decline that threatens your independence, you must master the science of the golden meal. This is where the abstract concept of nutrition meets the cold reality of your cellular biology. After the age of 60, your muscle cells have entered a state of stubborn slumber, known as anabolic resistance. They no longer respond to small, trickle-fed doses of protein. To wake them up, you must hit a biological tripwire, the leucine threshold. You need a concentrated surge of at least 2.5 to 3 grams of the amino acid leucine in a single sitting to flip the master switch of muscle protein synthesis, the mTOR pathway. Without reaching this specific concentration, the protein you eat is simply burned as expensive fuel, or worse, left to congest your aging digestive tract. The beauty of the golden meal strategy is that it achieves this threshold while honoring your digestive limitations. Imagine a bowl of steamed edamame topped with savory nutritional yeast and a handful of raw pumpkin seeds. In this single, easily absorbed sitting, you aren't just reaching the leucine threshold. You are flooding your system with the cofactors required to make that protein actually work. The magnesium from the pumpkin seeds acts as a spark plug for the over 600 enzymes that build new tissue, while the B vitamins from the yeast provide the electrical current for cellular repair. This is not the heavy, sluggish fullness that follows a massive steak. This is a clean, vibrant energy that signals to your body that the building season has begun. By strategically combining these high leucine plant sources, you bypass the inflammatory roadblocks of animal fat and focus entirely on the architectural integrity of your muscles. You are providing a high-frequency signal to a body that has been tuned to a low frequency for too long. This is how you reclaim the strength of your youth, not through the brute force of consumption, but through the precision of the golden meal. The journey we have taken today is more than just a list of foods. It is a fundamental reclamation of your future. We have been taught to view the loss of muscle as an inevitable tax on aging, a slow and painful surrender to the chair and the walker. But now you see the truth. Muscle loss after 60 is not a natural law. It is a supply chain failure. It is the result of a body that is starving for the right signals and choking on the wrong fuels. When you choose to step away from the outdated myths of the meat-heavy diet and embrace the sophisticated power of plant-based cellular support, you are doing something revolutionary. You are choosing a life of mobility over a life of confinement. You are choosing the ability to walk through the park, to lift your bags, and to hold your loved ones without the constant, nagging fear of a fall. This transition is not about deprivation. It is about empowerment. It is about understanding that every bite of black beans or every spoonful of spirulina is a vote for your independence. We often think of our muscles as just tissues that help us move, but they are so much more. Your muscle mass is your metabolic currency. It is the primary site of glucose disposal, the engine of your immune system, and the physical armor that protects your skeleton. When you lose your muscle, you lose your metabolic health and your physical freedom. But when you rebuild it using the gut muscle axis and the leucine threshold, you are essentially buying back your years. You are proving that the human body, even after 6 decades of life, is a masterpiece of adaptation and resilience. The profound lesson here is that your body is a reflection of the environment you create within it. If you create an environment of inflammation and poor absorption, your muscles will fade. If you create an environment of healing, high-density plant protein, and gut-supported absorption, your muscles will respond with strength. The application is simple. Do not try to change your entire world overnight. Start by replacing just one heavy, meat-based meal with a golden meal of plant-wide diversity. Add a tablespoon of nutritional yeast to your soup. Swap your afternoon snack for a handful of pumpkin seeds. These small, deliberate choices accumulate into a biological tidal wave that sweeps away frailty. You have been given the blueprint. Now you must have the courage to build. Which of the plant-based protein sources we discussed today are you most excited to try first in your next meal? Please share your thoughts in the comments below so we can all learn from each other's experiences and meal ideas. We would love to hear how you plan to integrate these changes into your daily routine. If you found this information valuable and want to continue receiving science-backed strategies for strength and longevity, please subscribe to EldraFit Nutrition. Your support gives us the motivation to keep creating deep dive content that helps you live your strongest, most vibrant life.